So on top of everything that's been going on lately, one thing that really made a lot of people's day very inconvenient was the fact that we just got like a huge, just sort of deluge of snow. Like all in the span of like not even 2 hours. Like it made the road slippery. Like first it started off as like rain. Then it started off as like sort of like very, very, very tiny hail. And then it just turned into straight up snow. So that was fun, right? That's exactly that's what the world needs. Snow. Maybe the snow can freeze the coronavirus. Put the coronavirus on ice and freeze it and then just freeze it to death. That'd be mighty convenient, wouldn't it? Yeah, if only that was how it works. But that's not how it works. Yeah, so good morning, happy Tuesday, everybody. So with everything going on, well, it's actually quite interesting because, yeah, we're supposed to be inside, we're supposed to do the whole social distancing thing. But through these times, I just found myself surrounded by family more and more. In fact, yesterday, my parents invited me over to dinner. It was nice because we didn't really have corned beef and cabbages on St. Patrick's Day. We had it last night. So yeah, last night I had good old-fashioned corned beef and cabbages. It was good. I mean, let's be honest. If corned beef is one of those things where, if you're a kid and you just hear the words corned beef, you're just gonna be like, it's not very appetizing. And when I was growing up, it really didn't like. The first time I had it, no kidding, it looked like, let's be honest, corned beef at first glance really does look like ham. It really does. If you're a kid and you don't know any better, corned beef really does look like ham. I'm not even kidding. And it kind of tasted like it to me too. Which, honestly, I do like ham, so at first I didn't really mind it. But I honestly found it very fatty. I mean, I don't find it that way anymore. In fact, I actually look forward to the fatty parts. But again, it just really goes to show like how far I've come, like from being a kid to an adult. It's really kind of cool. So I got to spend the afternoon with my mother and father, and because I was such a good son, and because I've done it so many times growing up, I shoveled their driveway and their sidewalk up to their doorbell because of all the snow. So yeah, I was being a good son that way. It was nice. Actually, my father showed me a technique when it comes to shoveling the driveway. Something that I'm going to pass on to my kids as well. See, what my father did is he'll get to the very center of the driveway, at the very end center, like the driveway is like from here to here. He'll start like here, like in the center, right? And he'll shovel the driveway and immediately go straight down to the other end of the driveway, into the road essentially, giving you a clear path to walk on. What he'll then do is he'll, like say he went down the middle, right? He'll shovel this side and this side. Go up a little bit, this side, go up a little bit, this side. And basically, it's like, I want to say burn the candle at both ends, but that's not really how it works. It would have to be like going from one going to the top and one coming from the bottom. But essentially, with that clear path, you now are able to have good footing. You can just sort of shovel your way out. It's actually quite convenient. So, yeah, it was nice I sort of did that. Honestly, it was nice kind of being home again. Not gonna lie. Being in the house I grew up in. I mean, by all accounts, I'm glad I'm on my own after I got my own place. I'm glad that, am able to sort of be on my own. But when you really want to be with family, and and especially during these times, you really want to be with family. It just feels right. You know what I mean? It feels right to just be with your parents. I mean, sadly, there are some people who unfortunately don't have that luxury. Maybe, you're too far away. Maybe, one of you is too busy to meet up. Or, unfortunately, maybe your parents are no longer with you, which is very sad. I was literally thinking as I was saying that, being like, your parents are dead. No kidding. That was the funniest part of Frozen 2 for me. Olaf just like going over like all the events of Frozen 1. He's like, their parents are dead. That was great. That was the funniest part of Frozen 2 for me. Which, hey, I revealed what it was after all this time. I just saw Frozen 2. So, yeah. Oh, okay, it didn't actually say like this. Like, their parents are dead. I'm like, is he going to say their parents are dead? Please tell me he's going to say their parents are dead. And I'm like, John, this movie's awesome. Seriously, like, I know that Frozen 2 was never going to be as good as the first one. But man, I had a hoot and a half watching that movie. I mean, I thought it was great. In some instances, I thought it was better than the original. It was actually expanded on stuff, which is what a good sequel's supposed to do. That's why the Kung Fu Panda movies are so good. And the How to Train Your Dragon movies are so good. And the Toy Story movies are so good. Seriously, like, cartoon movies can have good sequels. Just expand on the lore. Because you're doing it in the form of animation, you can actually do that a lot easier, too. Why does no one get that? Anyway, so I've been, watching a few things. I mean, one thing I finally did watch that finally got released, like finally you can watch online, is One Piece Stampede. That was awesome. Basically, yes, it's One Piece, like the anime and manga that I've been reading, doing manga chapter reactions on, all that stuff. Which I'll actually talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. But basically, the movies aren't really canon. This movie in particular was just loads of fun to watch. It just was. Although one thing that Oda, because here's the thing, even though the movies aren't canon, Oda really did have some input into it. And he said that what you see in the film Stampede is only but a glimpse of what, like, the final battle of the series will be. I'm like, okay, that was only a glimpse? I'm really looking forward to when One Piece does finally end. Because you know what? At the very least, it's going to end on a grand high note. Hopefully a good grand high note. Because let's be honest, a high note can be bad. I mean, sometimes it even shatter glass. Music joke. Hey, I used to do choir and stuff. I can make those jokes. I know some terminology. Actually, the only legitimate thing I do know, even after all this time, way back from, the days of Saint Mary Mother, is that pianissimo means, being quiet. Like this, kind of. A little bit louder than a whisper, but, kind of like this. Although I do want to talk a little bit louder so you can hear me a little bit better. Although, that's actually always been one problem I've had. Like, people have always been telling me, like, be quiet. I'm like, dude, this is my normal voice. Why don't, if you can't take it, you can be quiet, I guess. I don't know. So, a little bit about yesterday's chapter reaction that I did talk about, but I want to elaborate a little bit further, is I mentioned that this was the first chapter in which all the Straw Hats, excluding Jinbei, by the way, have been together. Like, this is monumental. What I mean by that is, the last time they were together was at the beginning of the Dressrosa arc. Yes, that arc, the one I mentioned how long it was, the one that was 102 chapters, the one that took well over 2 years, and that it took almost 2 years, and that's without breaks, but there were breaks, so that's made it even longer. That arc started on March 4th, 2013. We're now at the end of March, roughly, of 2020. That is 7 years. That's how long it was. So yeah, spoiler alert, during the Dressrosa arc, they got into separate groups. And because of what was going on, they had to separate for a little while. And they weren't together until just now. So this was quite monumental. In fact, again, I can't wait to see more. Unfortunately, I have to wait quite a while before I can see more. Because we are sadly on a break this week. I really hope global events don't really affect the series going forward. That'd be just awful. I mean, I know I make fun of how long the Dressrosa arc was, and trust me when I get to do my arc thoughts for that arc in 2022 probably. Yeah, it's going to be a while, because I do it monthly. When I do get to that arc, I'll definitely specify as to how long it was. But, son of a gun, I just lost my train of thought. What was I about to do again? Alright, when I do finally touch upon that arc, I'll be getting into talking about the length more and more. But considering what it all led to up till now in the series, it's huge. Like, really huge. Man, seriously, like, it seems like every January and every March, we get like several breaks practically in a row. Oh, right, now I remember what I was going to say. Yes, the beginning of the Dressrosa arc was chapter 700, and chapter 975 came out just now. That is over 7 years. And for those of you doing math at home, that's not even 40 chapters a year. So, yeah. Because, it'd be 275 divided by 7. Yeah, it's not even 40. It's actually more like... It's more than... Basically, Oda takes like 1 week off a month. Actually, more than that. Even though sometimes entire month or month and a half will go by and a break won't occur at all. But trust me, it adds up. So... Oh, right. Now I remember the other thing I was going to say. Yes, Dressrosa was long, but at least it kept going, and at least a break was only like a week, whenever it did occur. Seriously, some manga arcs go for years upon years upon years. I mean, I don't know all the logistics, but there was one arc in Hunter x Hunter that was like 133 chapters, but it took 8 years to do. They were in limbo for quite a while. So I can count my, now I remember to count my blessings a little bit when it comes to Dressrosa now, huh? I really do love that arc. Honestly, I would talk about it, but I want to wait a little, well, I actually want to wait until I actually get to talk about that arc before I can. Is it 2022 yet? So, yeah. I'm just running off the high of a really good manga chapter yesterday. Riding off the high that I did a really good deed for my parents, shoveling my driveway. And riding off the high that I got to spend more time with them. That was nice. It was a good day. Yeah, I'm supposed to be inside, but you know what? I was with family. My family loves me. And I love my family, so... I defy you to tell me what's wrong with that. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on the social media platforms, channels, and YouTube. I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I hope we all have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And remember, you guys want to talk to channel is going to be here to land in here. I'll always be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.